Yeah.
No problem. Are you a Mason?
Yeah.
Oh, that's another interesting one.
Right.
What level? 33rd?
I can't tell you. I'd have to kill you.
Yeah.
وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين.
And there came from the farthest end of the city a man running. He said, O my people, follow the messengers.
اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون.
Follow those who do not ask of you any payment, and they are rightly guided.
وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون.
And why should I not worship He who created me and to whom you will be returned?
It's on me, not you. Alright, so some people, they may think of like women in black, mosques, they might think of camels, they might think of terrorists, but the word Islam, it means submission. Really? Someone submits themselves to God. So what we say is that was the religion of all the messengers. We don't say Moses came with Judaism. We don't say that Jesus came with Christianity. This was names given later. We believe they were all people all messengers who submitted to God.
I understand. So what about, let me ask you this question. Islam is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
The majority of the Western world call it Islam.
Yeah.
So
it's not a big deal. It's just our tongue, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, I know. It's not like an insult to say
No.
Islam.
No. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Because like it's a different language, it has different letters.
Right.
So like even we say Allah, in the West people say Allah. They pronounce it like Allah like that. Like proper Cockney,
How about this? I've heard, now like I say, I'm coming from a place of ignorance. Okay?
No problem. We all need to learn.
Don't smite me, alright?
not on camera anyway.
Well, yeah. What about this thing of, I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like, there is but one God and Muhammad is his only true messenger.
No, something like that.
Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So basically that's saying, well, Moses is not a true messenger. The other is not true. So basically by saying, well, I mean, I'm not saying that that's the exact, but it's something like that, isn't it?
No, what it says, this is what we believe makes a person a Muslim.
Right.
That they believe whilst they understand it, they know what it means, and they verbally say it. They say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, which means none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. Only God deserves to be worshipped, no one else deserves to be worshipped.
Right.
And the second part, Muhammad Rasulullah, Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Or sometimes...
Don't they say something like he's the only true messenger?
No.
Really?
Never.
I'm going to read this, you know.
No problem.
I'm one of them people who's actually going to read this.
Yeah,
and I'll be back, my friend.
No problem. Because Jesus is a true messenger, Moses is a true messenger, Abraham is a true messenger. And
that's where it's split, isn't it? Moses and Abraham? They kind of...
No, but we don't believe they came with different religions. We believe they came with the same way. Worship one God.
Right.
But some would say the split is Abraham.
Oh, that's... Yeah.
Abraham had, his two sons.
Yeah.
His first son, Ismail.
Oh, that's right, Ismail and...
Isaac.
That's it.
Isaac's
the Jewish one.
Isaac had a son called Jacob.
Right.
Jacob, God called him Israel.
Right.
So then he had 12 sons.
Right.
And his sons are the children of Israel.
The tribes.
Yeah, the tribes of Israel.
Right.
So we believe all of the messengers, all of the prophets from that time, including Jesus, including Zachariah, David, Solomon, messengers, prophets, they all came from that line.
Right.
Whereas Muhammad, we believe, is the last messenger. Not the only messenger, but the last messenger. He came from the line of Ismail.
All right.
The first son.
Okay.
So you could stretch it and say cousins, but it's the same religion.
Well, one of the things for a while, I've lived in Israel.
Yeah.
And one of the things that amazed me was that there's like 500,000 Arabs living in Israel.
Yeah.
And in Israel, I was on a kibbutz. You know what that is?
No, I don't. I've heard it, but I'm not sure.
They're like a commune. Everyone who goes there is a volunteer. You don't get paid.
Okay.
you get food, accommodation, and everything like that.
Okay.
And everything you earn
Kibbutz,
goes back into the kibbutz, and at the end of the year, every person who's on that kibbutz, whether you've been there a day or 30 years, gets one vote as to what you're going to do with the money that you've earned that year.
Okay.
What we did the year I was there, we had tennis courts. We voted to electrify the tennis courts so we could play tennis at night.
Okay.
So it's like that.
Okay.
So anyway, I used to work in the banana fields.
Okay.
And with a ton of Jews.
Yeah.
But our boss was actually an Arab.
Okay.
And Mukhlas. And the relationship was absolutely fine. And we used to play football against them, and everybody was. I mean, I know that there are flashpoints.
Definitely,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But for the majority of the time I was there and the places that I was, everybody was getting on, Arab and Jew just alike. I mean, the Arabs lived in separate villages to the Jews, but they were, I mean, Mukhlas was our boss. He got paid more than anybody. He actually was a paid worker. And I think maybe there is that thing of, I mean, I was in the British Army, so I was in Northern Ireland when the Troubles were on. Now, everybody thinks that there was Troubles in Northern Ireland, which they were.
Of course,
they were all in West Belfast, Londonderry, Bogside, and South Armagh, which is like that much of Northern Ireland, which is, I think, half the thing of Israel. In the occupied territories, there's big trouble there. Of course. But where I lived, away from that, in Haifa, places like that, you never hear any trouble. Okay. It's everybody seems to get along. Why can't we all get along? That's right.
See, the thing on that is, as a Muslim or someone as a Christian, as a Jew, people could talk about it, the history, who does it belong to, who doesn't belong to, and obviously, I have my opinions.
Of course.
As a Muslim, I have my opinions.
Don't take my phone. He keeps moving it over towards me. He keeps moving it.
Well, no. We try to keep our word.
He's a big fella, so I don't want to argue with him.
But the thing was, if we want to talk about this, why did that happen? You know, we can go on for ages. But we want to get to the foundation, the bottom line. We say if there's one God, there should be one way.
Right.
So we may have things in similarity between us, like Christians, Muslims, Jews. We may have certain beliefs which are the same, certain actions which are the same, especially, you know, like some of the eating habits, some of the purity habits between Muslims and Jews are very similar.
Right.
But we would say, at the end of the day, there has to be one truth.
Right.
For example, if we take the example of Jesus, the Jews, traditionally, they will say that Jesus is a false prophet. He wasn't the Messiah. They're still waiting for a Messiah to come.
No, they say he was a prophet, but they don't say he's not the Messiah.
But they're waiting for a Messiah.
They are waiting for something. But they do say he's a prophet. You can't say he's a false. They don't say he's false. They say he's not the Messiah. He was a prophet.
Well, some would definitely say he's not. But
well, you got once again we're moving on to the edges of because I live in America where there is fundamental Baptist. It's crazy. But they're just part of Christianity. You're going to have, I mean,
so many different ideas.
Yeah, a lot of people focus on the extremes of Islam.
Yes.
But they don't focus on the extremes of Christianity or the extremes of Judaism.
Yeah,
they don't. It's like because that's a Western thing.
That's how people. But sorry, if we just come back, if you mention Jesus, then for example, the Muslims would say he's a messenger.
Right.
And then the Christians, of course they differ, but generally they will say he's God, part of the Trinity.
Yeah.
So on this point, when three world main religions, they differ, we can't say they're all right.
That's exactly right, yeah, I agree.
So we have to know which one is right.
Right.
And we would say Islam.
Right.
And because we would say this was the religion of all the messengers, and also the Quran itself, we believe and we can demonstrate that the Quran is being preserved. Whereas the previous books, we believe Moses was given revelation, we believe Jesus was given revelation, we believe David was given revelation, the Torah, the Gospel, there's a book. But we believe what the people have today is not the original.
Okay.
There's things which are being changed, things which are being added, and I think generally you can say, well, you're a Muslim, you would say that, but even if you look at biblical scholarship, they agree with this.
Well, it depends on which biblical scholarship. I mean, everybody would. I mean, you could make that argument you're making there, which is, don't get me wrong, I'm not disputing your argument, but the Mormons would say exactly the same thing by saying, God's great, but Joseph Smith, he's the man, he's the one who is the new, you see what I mean? And they believe that theirs is the true religion.
Yes. But the thing is, a person, what I would say, even in their claim, they could be right or they could be wrong.
Right.
But when Muslims say we're up on the truth and they say they're on truth, we both can't be on truth.
Exactly.
We'd have to study and we'd have to look.
That's why knowledge is power. That's why I wanted this. I'm going to read it.
No problem, sir.
I'm one of the few people who is saying, you don't need to call me sir. I'm not a sir.
Okay.
I'm just a bloke like you.
All right, Geezer.
I am actually going to read this.
No problem. Thank you very much for your time. Take care.
Before we go, just to let you know.
وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين.
And there came from the farthest end of the city a man running. He said, O my people, follow the messengers.
اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون.
Follow those who do not ask of you any payment, and they are rightly guided.
وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون.
And why should I not worship He who created me and to whom you will be returned?